Today I'm going to show you how to build a super simple universal tree farm from Minecraft. The item list is in the description below, so go check that out right now if you're building this on survival, which you probably are, and if you want to know how this works, then carry on watching. But if you want to go straight to the tutorial, then you can do by using the timestamps in the description. There you can locate them and you can go straight to the tutorial if you're not interested in how this works. I want to explain how this works so that some of my average viewers, people who are just interested in tree farms, want to know how this works and how I designed it. Now I'm going to explain how this tree farm actually works and a few other features of it. So over here are the tree types it actually works with, so I've got them listed here. And it works with all of these. It doesn't work with dark oak because dark oak is a bit different, and you'll probably have to build a separate farm for that. I'm also going to do a tutorial in the future for that, so stay tuned. And it works with all 5 of these tree types. Now oak is quite interesting, and also acacia. The others are quite similar with each other. I guess spruce and jungle are a bit different, so they're kind of all different at the same time and have different features, but these have the biggest different features that make it hard to design the tree farm for them. And I'm going to go through how I adapted the tree farm for them too. But it works with all of these, and you also get apples as an out product too. So you'll be able to get an apple, so this is kind of like an apple farm too. You mainly get them from oak trees, so if you're using a lot of oak trees you'll get a ton of apples. Now I'm going to go through how I fixed the problem of the acacia trees. So acacia trees have a weird way in which they spawn in. So if you spawn them in bone meal, you can get different ways in which the tree will spawn in. So it will spawn in diagonal like this, which doesn't really cause that much of a problem because the piston extender can just push it across and doesn't make too much of a problem. But the problem is these. So these have 2 different logs on 2 different levels, so you have one here and one here, and that's kind of in the way. So if the crushers come in at the same time and they push across, you're going to get like a 1 block gap and 2 logs. So it's going to break one of those sweepers or the leaf crushers, which will break the whole machine in turn. Same with this one here, and same with quite a few others like this one here. Now this one here has 2 different bits here, so this has 2 different scenarios where it will break it as well. With this one it's also a bit different too, because you have to adjust the timings a little bit. So you do have to lower the timings a bit, so make it a bit slower. For this one, as I found, it works better if you do that. It doesn't break as commonly, or it doesn't break at all. This machine doesn't break at all. I've tested it so many times. Now I'm going to show off a quick demo of how the sweepers work and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm going to do it in slow motion, so it'll be much slower than normal. I've got a little mod to do that. So if I go over here and turn it on, so I've got an on switch here. So now once this starts turning on, so once I see this dispenser, alright, so now I'm going to put some logs down and show you how the actual sweeping mechanics actually work. So first this will go, so if you watch this, the redstone there, it'll turn on in a few seconds. So as you can see, it's on, and the piston extender is pushing out. Then this one goes across, and that'll push this piston across here. And then you get another output from this redstone block and pushes it another bit across. So this will push the other bit of the other log across, because you'll get excess bits of the log, as I said, with the double logs. So if I show you the double log setup, so if I go like this, and then go here, and then do the same here and here, like that. If I place the log in like this, I'll show you how it resolves with this one. It's a bit slow because I put the tick rate on really low, but it's easier to see. So as you can see, it's getting pushed across, and then that gets pushed across, that piston pushes outwards, then these get pushed across by the other sweeper, and that gets pushed across like that. And then we've got an extra bit here to push the excess bits on and onto there. So no logs are wasted whatsoever in this machine, which is quite cool. So now I'm going to go through oak trees. So they have 2 different variants. So you've got the big variant, which is a little bit annoying for tree farms, or very annoying for tree farms. They do look a little bit better than the average oak tree. They look more realistic, but still they're kind of annoying because of the branches. And you've got the smaller ones, which are good for tree farms and good for just farming wood in general, because you get all these branches which make it annoying, and you can kind of get floating trees in a way, and it just gets annoying with these big ones. So these small ones are quite good. So we want these small ones, so what we need to do is we need to put a block. So any block will do. Try not to make it logs or anything like that, it won't really work that well with logs, but try and make it a random block, so even like smooth stone or obsidian, whatever you want to choose, and just put it up here, and it has to be 8 blocks across. So there has to be an 8 block gap between the dirt and the block, which we're placing the sapling on. And if I show you with the sapling, now. I've turned this off actually. So I've turned it back on. So this isn't a large variant of the tree, this is a smaller one. So I plant another one. So I plant a few. So as you can see, none of the big variants spawning in whatsoever. And you will not get at all any of the big variant whatsoever, because you have that block up here which is 8 blocks across. So if you don't have that block up there, you'll get a big variant of the tree, which is annoying. Now I'm going to explain some of the redstone with this tree farm, so I'll show you how some of the redstone works and stuff like that. So over here we've got the sweepers here, or the leaf crushers, whatever you want to call them. And these are double piston extenders, so these are just basic double piston extenders which you'll find anywhere. I like this design quite a lot, so I use it quite often. And it just extends this sweeper out. So over here we've got a log here, so that's if any saplings drop onto here, the log will be able to push all the saplings across into this section here. And then when a tree grows, it will be pushed outwards in any direction, and it will go into one of these hoppers. So we need a log here for that. We've got some redstone blocks here. You have to use redstone blocks. You can't use any other block whatsoever, as it won't work. And these are all redstone blocks on this side too. And then we use fence gates over here, and they're quite cheap to make and everything like that. And they'll stick to slime or honey, and they'll be able to crush all the leaves. Over here we have a block up here. I've explained why this block's up here, and over here we've got a triple piston extender. So this will extend once, twice, and then you have this additional extender over here, which is powered by these redstone blocks. Now over here we've got slime here and honey here. So when this extends, these two won't stick together, so you won't get this all sticking together, and you'll have like a piston push limit problem with these all stuck together, and it just won't work. So that's why we have honey here and slime there, and we have it alternating. We've got slime, honey, honey. Same with this one, we've got slime, honey, like that. We've got it alternated on both sides. Now over here we've got furnaces, and that's because they don't stick to honey or slime, so we use them there, and it makes it much easier. Don't use like terracotta because it's kind of expensive. Use something cheap like furnaces. Now up here we've got glass, and that's to transmit the redstone upwards. You can't transmit it downwards though, if you didn't know that. Over here we've got the piston here, so this is kind of the same repeater timings as this here, and it's just replicated over here. Now on both sides of the leaf crushers we've got a pulse extender. So we've got a 1 comparator pulse extender here, and also a 1 comparator pulse extender on this side too. Now I'll go on to why we need that in a minute, but on this side here we've got a pulse extender, a double pulse extender, so you have 2 comparators here, and we need that to keep this open so we can have like the logs pushing across quite a lot. So over here we've got a observer here, so that's observing this piston here. So if you think about it, so if I turn this on, so if I go under here, it'll be easier to explain. So over here we've got a redstone clock here, and that will power all this redstone, and this will update this piston here. So over here, if I go here, there'll be a block up here, and there's a redstone repeater here. When that gets powered, there'll be a block here which will kind of power through there into that dirt, and it'll go under here. The power source will go through here down into this piston here, so it'll go through the dirt block down here, but the piston will need something to update it, which is what this redstone line is for. So it'll update the piston, which in turn will power this observer, which will send a pulse through here, and we need the pulse extenders to extend the pulse. So the observer pulse is too quick, and it won't keep this triple piston extender out for long enough, and these won't be out for long enough too. It'll kind of just won't work. This won't work either, so that's why we need the pulse extenders. And we've got a lot of repeater timings here, and that's to make sure that the piston extenders come out at the right time for the acacia trees. So when this switch actually gets turned on, there's a sticky piston here which pushes this observer here, which actually turns on the clock, which is for updating the piston here, and then also goes into this target block here. I like to use target blocks, it just makes the redstone more compact, and into this dropper here, and that's where all the saplings and sticks and apples will be, and the apples will just fall into the actual system here. Some of the saplings will go into this system as well, or some of them will go into your inventory too. So it will kind of go half and half in a way. So you'll get all the saplings back, but when your inventory is full, it will actually go into this system here. And when you're done with the machine, you can also drop your saplings into here, and it will go into the system anyway. And when you're choosing a tree to AFK, you can just get some saplings out of one of these chests and use them. So it makes the system quite easy to use. So when it goes across here, you'll get a redstone clock across here, and flashing redstone here, and into this piston here, and it'll go all the way down, up here, and into this observer here, which will power this dropper, and which will power this, because this is a full block, it will power this dropper here, and also go up to into this observer and power all of this up there. So all of these will be powered, all of these droppers here, which are pushing all the bone meal up there, and all of that will be powered so that it will be just flashing and shooting up bone meal all the way up to the dispenser at the top, which will be powered by this furnace up here. So a furnace is a full block, so you're able to power a observer, redstone pulse into it, so you'll get a power source which will be powering the dispenser at the top. And we use a full block like a furnace because the saplings will fall on top of here, and we'll have the log to push them across here. So I hope that all makes sense in a way. I know it kind of sounds a bit confusing at times. You might already understand it from looking at it, but you might not. So I hope that kind of makes sense. If it doesn't, then leave a comment and I might be able to explain a few parts of it. So now over here we've got an observer, and that detects all the logs going across here. So as this piston over here is kind of pushing from here, they kind of like meets a piston push limit section here. So the piston push limit probably ends here, and if TNT goes over here, it'll kind of break all of these leaves and break the machine in a way. So we need to push the logs across here, and we have two sets of logs which goes across here, and one's from the acacia trees. So the acacia trees have like the double log sided sections, so the double logs will go across here and the normal logs will go here. So they'll be pushed across with these pistons, and they'll be detected down here because you always have a log coming out of this section, and you'll have these two pistons pushing across. So now over here we've got the same section, but as there will be no logs going across here, we kind of make this diagonal pattern here, and it's the same sort of setup but just a diagonal pattern, because you won't get any logs interfering into this section because this bit's pushing it along. So we have this section here, and it just makes it easier. Okay, so now onto the TNT duper bit. So when I flick this lever here, it will power this piston, which updates this observer, which powers this piston here. It's a sticky piston, which pushes a block across here, which updates all of this scaffolding. So this will change state, and all of this will change state up here. The observer will detect that instantly, pretty much. Well, not exactly instantly, because it doesn't, but it will like detect it quite quickly. Then this sticky piston will pull the block in, which under here is a redstone torch, so that's what's powering this repeater. And this repeater will be unpowered, which will unpower this piston, which will start the clock. Now in here there's 4 items, so that's the clock for the TNT duper. So here is a hopper clock. So this is like an EFO hopper clock that's been like remade by Exumovoid, so I'll link it in the description if you want to go check it out. So it's like a remade version by Exumovoid, and it's tileable as well. I prefer this one to the old EFO clock. You might prefer the old EFO clock if you want to, but I like this one because it's one wide and tileable. Then you've got some redstone out here, and there's a piston pushing this across. Now when this clock actually gets turned on, this piston will be pushing back and forward, and TNT will be going through here into this section here, towards the section, and there's a trap door here, and that's to make sure that the TNT doesn't drop down too far or isn't too like low or anything like that. So it's kind of to drop it from a high height, an accurate height, so that's why we have a trapdoor here. It'll be dropped into here. There's some obsidian here to protect the hoppers, because they'll break otherwise. And the TNT will explode and explode all of these logs here. And the logs will go through the water stream and into this item sorter, which is actually optional. I'm going to make a separate item list for the item sorters. If you actually want to build them, you might want to. I would if I were you, to make sure that you're organised. But you don't have to, and you've got this cactus section to break all the items. Now I'm going to go on to the tutorial, so make sure you have your items ready, and just a quick reminder that the item listing is in the description, so make sure to go check that if you didn't know that. And now I'm going to go on to the tutorial. So before I go on to the actual tutorial where I'll show you how to build it, I just want to make sure that you're building it in a good location. So before building this, try and find a nice location. So I'd choose somewhere far away from your base so it doesn't cause too much lag, because this farm doesn't perform as well in lag. It kind of like breaks a little bit sometimes in lag. So if you build this away from your base, you'll kind of optimize from that lag and you won't get as much lag in a way. So I built this in my base a few times. I built this in my base once and it works fine, but like sometimes when it's laggy it kind of doesn't work that well, so I moved it all the way out of my base. And it works much better if it's not in your base, not in your base area in a way, so not near iron farms and stuff like that, just to optimize lag. So make sure you build it in somewhere good like that. So now start off by placing a block here in the air. So I built this 15 blocks up, so you might have to build upwards and place a block and then break the area downwards and make like a little area where you can fly into. So I think by now you'd have a elytra, so it'll be quite easy to get up here. So first start off with a block here. Next we're going to put another block across here and some soul sand. So this is where you'll be standing when you're AFKing the farm. So if you want to put that into perspective and where you want to build it, so this is where we'll be. So I'm going to start the tutorial from this bit here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get a block here and place one here, and we're also going to place one here like that, and one here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a target block and we're going to place one here. Then what we'll do is we'll get a chest. So this will be for the leaves, and this will be for the bone meal. So you can make the bone meal chest even bigger if you want to. You can even make a shulker box unloader for this if you want to, but it really depends on what you want. And this is for the saplings, so you put your saplings in after you've used the farm. So I'm going to put a composter on here like that, and then I'm going to get a sticky piston, place it into here like this. I'm going to put a temp block here, an observer in place like this, and then another observer in place like this. Now we're going to get a dropper and we're going to place it on the side here where this target block is, so it gets powered, and then a furnace on top of here so it doesn't stick to the slime or honey, whatever we're using. Then I'm going to put a torch up here, so a redstone torch, a hopper into here, and a hopper into here like that, hopper into here, round there, and we're going to go round across here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to get another hopper and we're going to place it in here, and then get another hopper on the side here, place one in that goes into here, place one that goes into here like that, and we're going to go across a few blocks, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 like that. Now we're going to get some dirt and we're going to place it in here. We're going to get a repeater, you don't have to mess with any of the timings on that. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a hopper into here, like that. And we're going to go across here with the hoppers into here, like this, and like that. Perfect. Now we're going to get a hopper here, like this, and hopper there. A hopper in here, like that. And a hopper into here, like this. You can put a hopper into here, over there, and this is all to collect all the leaves. I mean all the saplings. So we'll hop into here on the side there, and hopper here and here. And actually we don't need that side hopper there. And a hop into here and a hopper into the side here. And I'm going to fill this all in like that. We'll place one there and there, done. So now what we'll do is we'll get a dropper. So if I place a dropper in like this here, and then a dispenser here to dispense out all the bone meal. Then what we'll do is we'll get an observer in place like this, and a furnace here. So we've done this top section. Now we'll go down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to get some temp blocks. So I'm going to crouch and jump at the same time. Place a block here, here, and one there. Perfect. Now we'll break these ones because these are all temp blocks. And I'll get a dropper. So if I place a dropper in like this, and a dropper here, there, and that's it. And then what we'll do is we'll place a temp block down here. And we'll break this one, this is a full block. Go across like this, and we'll get some redstone in like this, and then we'll place a temp block in, and a full block there, and a repeater, and some blocks across here. We'll go up here, so a temp block here, and we'll break that temp block and have the block up here. And what we'll do is we'll get some observers, place one there, and that's the clock done. Now we're going to get a normal piston and we're going to place it in place like this over here. Then we're going to get an observer, place it in like this, perfect. And now we're going to get a temp block here and place it down here. Then a normal block here and break that temp block there. Go across here to there, and you'll need some redstone dust. Just go across here, and then a sticky piston in here like that, and a sticky piston on this side too, and a block up here. So that's why we left the gap here, so that you can push the sticky piston and the block upwards. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get some hoppers. So I'm going to go round into here. So this will go into this dropper here, through here, and through the bone meal supply. Then what we'll do is we'll go through here. So if I place a temp block here and here, break this temp block, and we'll leave that temp block for a minute, and we'll get some hoppers like that. And this will move into the sapling supply. So if you want to store the saplings anywhere, then you can move this hopper into like a chest system. But if you don't want to store the saplings, then you could just put it into a dropper that puts the saplings into lava or cactus. Now you're going to get some building blocks, and we're going to place a corner bit like this through here, and we're going to get a repeater, so just any old repeater will do, and put it on 2 ticks like that. And then we're going to get some blocks here and also here like that. I'm going to make a pulse extender, so this will require 2 comparators, and like that, perfect. And now we're going to get from this output here, so this is output putting from here, so to get the optimal amount of delay possible, we're going to put a repeater here, and just leave that like that, and then a block here and a block there, and you can break this block onto here as it's not needed. Then we're going to get some redstone, place it around here and to here, and then we're going to leave this side. Now we're going to move on to this bit, so we're going to get a repeater, we're going to put it on 4 ticks like that, get some blocks here like this, and we're also going to get a block here and to there and to there like that. Now we're going to get some redstone here, we're going to put a block on top of here, you can break the block under there if you want to, some redstone round here, and a comparator through here, and that's for the mini pulse extender, which really doesn't last that long at all, but it's still useful nevertheless. So if I get some blocks here like that, and we're going to get some lots of delay here, so 4 ticks here and 2 ticks here, a block here, well that's a temp block, then you can break the temp block if you want to, and a block up here, then a redstone torch, block up here, another redstone torch here. Now onto this side, so first we need to place a block here, a repeater on 2 ticks like that, and some blocks here, across here like this, and what we'll do is we'll place a block up here, break that block down there, some redstone up here, and a comparator into here like this, so a mini pulse extender, another mini one, because we need quite a few pulse extenders for this farm, a repeater into here like that, and we'll put this on 4 ticks, and then what we'll do is we'll place some blocks up here, and we can put some glass here, and I'm going to put some redstone here to make it easier to place the glass in up here, glass block up here and here, a repeater up here, and this will be on 2 ticks, and some redstone here. Now you'll need to get a block, and you'll need to place it in like this, so there and there like that, and some redstone dust here, block here, redstone dust here like that. Then we're going to place some blocks up here, and some redstone dust here, and then a block here and here like that, redstone dust here and blocks here, block here, and a furnace in place like this. Then we're going to get some redstone, so not there, get some redstone round here, so you might see this pattern here, that'll be gone in a minute. So we're going to get some repeaters here, and we're going to put the first one here on 4 ticks, and this one on 2 ticks, and some redstone dust here like that. Then we're going to get a block up here like that, so as you can see it split that up, and we're going to repeat the same double piston extender design up here. Now we're going to get some blocks, so if I get a block here and here, break that bottom block, and then we'll have some redstone dust here, then we'll go across here with a block there and there, then we'll get a repeater, place it in this side, so both sides, and we'll have one which will go through, so we'll have like 4 ticks here, and then we'll have one over here which has around 2 ticks there, so like that. So now we're going to get a block, and I'm going to place it here like that, and we'll also get a block and we'll place it in like this over there, and we'll get some blocks around here like this. So now actually we don't need that one, so if I get some redstone dust there, some redstone dust here, and got a block here, some glass here, redstone dust, and we'll be going up with the glass, so we'll have to use the glass so it goes up, so redstone signal is able to transmit upwards. So we'll go up here, and then the last one will be this one here and this one here with the redstone dust. Then we'll do the second side, so we'll go across here with the glass, so we shift click on the edge, we should get it, there we go, perfect. Then we'll get some glass up here, redstone dust here, glass there, redstone dust, and then we'll have glass up here, and we'll get the last bit of redstone dust like this. Perfect, so that's this side done, and now we're going to get some furnaces. I'm going to go place them across here, so I shouldn't really open them. So it's easier just to place them in like this, and up here, and then I'll go up there, and place one here. So I can go on the edge and I'll place a bunch of furnaces in. Like that, and one up there, and here, and here. Perfect. Now what we'll need to do is we'll need to get some sticky pistons. So if I place them in on the edge here, like this, and over here. Now we're going to place a block here, and we're going to be doing this side. So if I place blocks through here and here, so we're going to be doing the same double piston extender setup, and I'm going to get a furnace on this side here. So we'll place some redstone here, and we'll put the repeaters here. Remember, this one's on 4 ticks and this one's on 2 ticks. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go around here, and we're going to shift up, click on the edge, see if we can get it. There we go, perfect. So now onto the piston extenders. So now we're going to go down here. I'm going to start off with slime and alternate with honey. So you might want to put scaffolding here and climb all the way up to place all the slime and honey in place, as if you kind of stand on honey you can't really jump that well, which is kind of annoying. So if you just place it alternating like this, and then I'll put honey on top like that, and you'll get this alternating pattern. Then we'll get some pistons, and we're just going to place them all upwards, so not facing this way. Face it in like this, perfect. And then what you'll need to do is you'll need to get some furnaces and place them in like this, and it doesn't matter what way they're facing. Then we're going to get some normal blocks, and we're going to place them down here and go all the way up like this. Break that one there. Then what we'll do is we'll place some blocks here, and we're going to go all the way upwards like this. And then next we're going to get some sticky pistons. We're going to place them like this, and we're going to make the double piston extender. So this will extend outwards, and this will be for the leaf crushers. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to see it. So this is honey here, so we'll put slime across here, and we'll go across 5. So make sure if this is honey, or if it's slime or whatever, just use the opposite. So the opposite of honey is kind of slime, because they don't stick together. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do the alternating pattern. You don't have to look anymore. Like this, and you'll get a leaf crusher which looks a bit like this. Then we'll get some redstone blocks, place them up here, like this. You can leave this side if you want to, and we'll place some bits here. Well, you have to leave that side, and we'll place some trapdoors here, like that, and we'll open all of these, like that. I'll place them up here as well, and we'll open all of this up. You can open it if you want to. I just opened it because it looks much nicer, it looks a bit cleaner, because it kind of matches these bits with the redstone block on the side. That's why I open them up normally. Then I'm going to put some piston extenders here, like this. So these are all double piston extenders, and we're just repeating what's on this side. So now actually it's important that we just break this one and put an acacia log here, or whatever log you want to. That's to push the saplings off of this section here. So now your sweepers should look something a bit like this. So you should have done this side exactly the same as this, without the acacia log. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test it out. So we're going to test out this section first, just to make sure that it works. Now what you'll need to do to test it out is you'll need to put a block on here, on top of the sticky piston here, a lever here. Then what we'll do is we'll trigger this lever. So you'll hit this clock. If you don't hit this clock, then you've probably done it a bit wrong. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a log. So you can use a block or anything like that. I'll actually just use a normal block to showcase it. And yours should do something like this. So if it moves the block over here, then it's worked. And if you saw this piston go out twice, then it has worked as well. So make sure it does that. If it doesn't, then you've probably done something wrong and you have to go back into video and fix it. So now we're going to need some stone pressure plates. Now make sure they're stone pressure plates, so the items that drop onto them, they won't trigger them, because if you have like one here and an item falls onto it, and if you have a wooden pressure plate and the item falls onto here, and the piston extenders here, it will trigger the piston again, which could break the machine. So you don't want to have stone pressure plates just in case. So I place them across here like this in this formation, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a furnace. So try and go on the edge there and to place in the furnace like that. I'm going to do this on this side, so go across here and here and here, and I'm going to get a furnace, place it in there like that, perfect. Then we're going to get some more stone pressure plates, place them in like this. It's not there actually. And in here like that. Now we're going to need some leaves, so you can use dark oak leaves if you want to. I'm using dark oak leaves because it's easy to see like a difference. Like it's the only leaf type that you won't get from this farm, so you'll be able to see a difference in the leaf type, so it'll kind of look different in comparison to the others. But just use any leaves you want to. And this means that it won't stick to the slime or honey, but it'll kind of like protect all the saplings, so all the saplings will just fall down here. So you can use furnaces as well, but I'm going to use leaves because it looks cooler. Now I'm going to go under here, I'm going to place some here, just to make sure that all the saplings make their way through here. Shift click and here, like that. We don't need to do that one. I'm going to go around here, like that, and place them here and here. You don't need this edge one, and one there. Now we're going to need some temp blocks, so if I place a temp block here and here, we'll break this one here, and we'll go across 3 like this, and then observe it in place like there. A block here, so this is a normal block, a block here, and a repeater. This is on 4 ticks. We can put a block here and a block here, like that, and we're going to get some redstone, place it up here. Block here like this, a normal repeater, and a block here with some redstone on top. Then what we'll need to do is we'll go up here like this, and we're going to have this one as a block. So this will go in some repeaters, into some repeaters. And over here we'll get some pistons, we'll go upwards like this. So we can also go down here as well. And we'll just go up here with the pistons, and we'll cap it onto this section here, so it will push all the pistons across. Then what we'll need to do is we'll need some glass, place them down here like this, and place a temp block here to make it easier, and break the temp block and remove the glass there. Some redstone up here, so if I place it in like this, and some redstone here, a glass block here, redstone here, and then we'll do the same setup on this side. So if I kind of shift click into here like that, some redstone across there, some glass here, redstone there, glass, and a section like this, and we'll get some pistons, place them in here like that, and there. So this is for the piston push limit. So I break these here, so you will see it pushes these across like that. And then what we'll need to do is we'll need to place a block here, and we'll go block here, and we'll go 2 blocks here, and an extra block here, and observe it in here. So observe it in like this. We can break all that, a block here, and we'll be building pretty much the same setup. So now we'll get a block down here, and we'll go here across like that. Then we'll get a repeater, all on 4 ticks like this, and a block up here. So I'll put that back on 4 ticks. So block here, and we'll go back here, and some redstone dust up here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place a block down here, and a repeater on 1 tick. So just leave it how it is. Some redstone dust here, and then what we'll need to do is we'll need to get a glass. So we can get a normal block actually. Place it like this. Some glass blocks up here like this, and there, and up here. So we'll leave this for now. We'll just do this side as well. We'll kind of make it same height like that, and I want to show you sort of the pattern that we're going to be doing. So if I go down here, so what we'll be doing is we'll be doing like a diagonal pattern. So if I put some pistons here and here and here and here, and we'll do it up to the height. So here, and that's equal. So we'll be having pistons across here, and then we'll have some blocks here, and we'll be having pistons like this. So in this diagonal pattern. So I'll finish this blocks off. So get some glass here, here, and some redstone up here, like that, and we'll get some glass here, and redstone here. So then we're going to get some pistons, place it in like this. Now we're going to need some normal blocks. So if we go down here like this, and we're going to go across here, so this is where the water stream will be. So we'll need 6 blocks around here, so put some extra blocks here, and some blocks up here. So there's 6 blocks across, put a temp block here, and here, like this, and we'll go 8 blocks across here. So I'll make sure there's 8, so 6, so 2 more, like this, and some blocks across here, like this, temp block here, and we'll go round here, like this, so it matches up with this. And this is for the water stream. So I fill up all of this and we'll be placing in all the hoppers and also some obsidian, and I'll show you why in a second. So we'll have this water stream and we'll get some water, because it's not a water stream without some water, and just make it to the end so it does. Some temp blocks here like this, and we'll get some hoppers here. You can link this up to your central storage system or just a sorting system if you want to, but I'm not going to do a tutorial on that because it's not really needed for this farm. You can just have like a big chest system and it'll just fill up with loads of logs. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go across here, so find like where 2 blocks across here, we'll place a block here, and obsidian on top of here, we'll break that, and that's to protect the hoppers because they can be exploded by the TNT, so that's why we have this obsidian to protect it. Now I'm going to need an observer, so if I place an observer in like this, a sticky piston, a block here, temp block, a wall block there, a scaffolding block here, and then scaffolding here, and I'm going to go all the way up, so I'm going to go up 14 blocks, so from here, I'm going to go 14 blocks upwards, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get an observer, sticky piston in here, and then I'm going to place a block here, this is a temp block, a block here like that, a block here, a redstone torch in place like this, a block here, a repeater here, crouch down, and place a block here. Now we're going to need a sticky piston here, a redstone block here, I'm going to put some temp blocks here, and a sticky piston in place like this. And I'm going to put a normal block here, I'm going to put a redstone torch here, a block here, a redstone torch here, so not on top of here. Then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go down like this and across here. Then we're going to get a redstone comparator in place like this. We're going to put some temp blocks here to make it easier. And what we're making is we're going to be making an EFO hopper clock. So this is actually a different design of the EFO hopper clock. It's by Xuma Void. You might have seen it, you might have not. But it's a 1Y tileable version, so it's quite cool. So if I place a block here, and a redstone torch here, and a redstone torch up here, like this, we have ourselves an EFO hopper clock. Then we're going to place a block here, and some redstone dust here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some items inside. So if I get 1, 2, 3, 4 items, we'll place them in here. You'll see that redstone dust turns on. If it does, then you've done it right. Then I'm going to put a sticky piston here, and that should extend out like this. Now onto the TNT duplicator. So on certain servers they don't actually allow TNT duplicators, or TNT duplicators are patched so that they don't actually work. So if it doesn't work, then you need to build Ilmango's blast chamber, because that will actually work. So if you build Ilmango's blast chamber, that will be able to destroy all the wood without using TNT duplicating. If you don't know what that is or where to find that, I'll put a link in the description so you can actually find it. And I'll title it Ilmango blast chamber. So now I'm going to build the TNT duper. So first we're going to get some slime. We're going to go across here like this, and up here, across like this, and on dead coral fab 1 like there, and a cobblestone wall here, and then some TNT here. Then what we'll do is we'll place some slime here, and we're going to get a piston. We're going to get a detector rail and some normal rail. Now in a minute we'll trigger this, but first I want to build the actual thing itself, so I'm going to build the thing that captures the TNT and drops it onto here. Now we're going to get some terracotta. I'm going to place it across here like this onto the side of the TNT so it doesn't like shoot out and then shoot onto the side here, because that can happen without this. So now we're going to get some terracotta, place it in like this, some blocks across here. I'm going to put 1 block here like that. I'm going to go across an extra 2 blocks here and here. So now what we'll do is we'll need to get a trapdoor, place it like this, temp block in down here, and what we'll do is we'll place a block across here, temp block there, and we'll have this sort of setup here. Then we'll get a fence gate here, and then what we'll need to do is we'll need to get a block. So I'll place it here and get a trapdoor, place it in like this and like that. And then after we've done that, we can like prime the TNT duper. So I'll push it in through here. That will prime the TNT duper, and then you can just break all of this and get it out of the way. And then that's the universal tree farm done. Now I'm going to show you a few additional things that you could add to the farm. So first, you've got the on switch here. So you could put like a reminder set showing you where the on switch actually is. So you could put like turn well, it's supposed to be turn. If I put turn on, like that, you'll know where to turn it on. So now what you could do is, this is your sapling bit, so where you put your saplings in. So you could just put a sapling on here to remind you. Then you could put an item frame here, and that could put bone meal. So if I get a little bit of bone meal and place it in, so kind of a bit of a mess at the moment. So I put some bone meal here, that will remind you where the bone meal chest is. You can make this even bigger, or you could even have like a shulker box unloader with like bone meal inside it, or something like that. Or if you have auto crafting on your server, you could have it auto craft from bone blocks if you wanted. So you could do that if you want as well. So now I'm going to turn the machine on, and this will mean that bone meal will start transferring into here. There's already bone meal in here, so I'll put this in here. Now to use the machine, you just have to have an auto clicker. So you auto click onto here, you put the sapling down like this, and it'll trigger the machine like this. So in a second I'll show you like a trick, so I'll show you a few trees. So I'm showing you acacia trees because that's like the main thing that this is made for. And you'll start getting some saplings. Some might enter into here, so none have entered yet, so I've got a stack in here that's like the default. But I'll show you a little trick which you can do. It's like auto click in a way. So now I'm going to show you a quick trick into how to use this farm. So if I flick this lever like this, and the thing is on, so the TNT dupe is working and everything like that. If I go over here onto the soul sand, and if I keep my finger down on the right click button, and if I click F3 and T, last time I tried this my game crashed a bit, so hopefully it doesn't do it this time. I hope it doesn't actually, it would be really annoying if it does. So I do F3 and T, hopefully my game won't crash this time. It's kind of annoying if it does, but it doesn't really matter because it might work this time anyway. Because like, it's working. Okay, so I've done the F3 and T trick, and I'm not clicking anything whatsoever, not clicking my mouse at all, whatever. And oh, that was a big lag spike. But anyway, it's like an in-game auto clicker. As I'm recording, it kind of like crashed a little bit. Well, it didn't crash, but like it went on, like it kind of froze a bit. But it's only because I'm recording, and it wouldn't do that otherwise. And it's kind of like an automatic auto clicker anyway, and it works really well. So you can use an average auto clicker if you want to, or you can do the F3 and T trick. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. This project has taken so much time to do, so I hope you actually enjoyed this farm as well. Like, this farm is really cool as well, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. So if you want to, you can leave a like, it really helps out. And you know, I spent months and months doing this project. It's taken so long, and I'm so happy I finally finished it. It's been quite a lot of work, just saying. So if you want to, you can subscribe, I really don't mind. You'll be notified when I upload. So when I upload the video on the next tree farm, which will be the dark oak tree farm, you'll be notified when I get it, and you'll be the first to see it. So you'll be the first to see my design for a dark oak tree farm, which is quite exciting actually. Well, you might find it exciting, and I find it exciting too, so I'll probably be doing that project quite soon. I might have to take a few months off though, because of exams and stuff like that, but I'll probably be able to do it in the summer time, so be excited for that. And I'll see you in the next video if you're going to watch any more of my videos, and goodbye.